We could just run stories, like, you know what I'm saying, or talk about some shit that niggas don't like to talk about, like, you know, like young niggas and shit like that.
Yeah, right now what we've been talking about. The craziest thing right now.
Hey, y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Pharaoh the God, always on the job. I got 5 Let's Talk. And as always, it's real talk. And it's that time again to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another motherfucking friend. Share, like, and subscribe. Don't hide. Welcome to another episode of the podcast show. Today we gonna be dealing with David. I got a good guest with me today, Odie. You know, one of my boys that's always in the background shooting me content to talk on. I need something to be broke down on. He always breaks it down. We're gonna talk about the David situation. For those that don't know, I mean, it's a well-known, documented, publicly data criminal investigation that's going on. You can put it on the glass. His girlfriend, at 14, 15 at the time, was found unalived in the trunk of his Tesla in North Hollywood.
Hold on, allegedly. We're not going to say, though, his girlfriend, because at the end of the day, that's a minor. She's a 15-year-old minor, and he's an adult.
Well, yeah, let's rephrase that.
So allegedly.
His acquaintance, his female acquaintance,
right.
You know, to where they could have and could not have shared relationships emotionally. I'm gonna say that. But his 15-year-old acquaintance was found unalived in the trunk of his car, North Hollywood, in a tow yard. I think about how many weeks was it? It was a while.
So basically, what they're saying earlier this month, a Tesla registered to him got impounded at a tow yard. Inside the car, front trunk, police found the body. The LA County medical examiners confirmed it was, what is her name,
Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
All right, Celeste. Celeste, who has been reported missing multiple times since last year. So the girl's been missing for a whole year already. So she's a runaway.
Yeah, she's definitely has tendencies to skip home.
I'm saying a runaway because, one, I was that kid that, yes, I could have been at home. So my mom was looking for me, and there's been reports.
Yeah, she's a runaway.
So she's a runaway. I'm not saying she's a prostitute. I'm not saying she's selling drugs or gangbang. She's a runaway.
She's just a runaway.
I don't know if she was still going to school or trying to educate herself, but she's a runaway. And it seems like he had some acquaintance with this runaway.
Facts.
Now, what he was doing with her, we do not know. But that's next to be told.
Now, what we do know on the conspiracy theory level, and I'm going to say, is it conspiracy theory level, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the conspiracy level, it is alleged that they were more than they was on the intimate level. Not only was she a minor.
Police then hits a Hollywood Hill house linked to David, sees electronics and other piecing together a timeline.
But from the Instagram, they already see it a timeline too. So I think by them actually going to his house and getting the electronics, they getting more material to clarify what they already have from the internet. Because it's not like they didn't post it. And just some of the shit that they posted to close friends,
but yet,
they even put out
there.
He
hasn't been charged with anything. So we can't, he's innocent. Innocent until proven guilty. Right now he's innocent though for anything. Murder, statutory rape, anything
Now, this is what's
he's
wrong.
innocent on right now.
Now, this is what I will speak on. What's wrong with the judicial system in America? We are seeing time and time again these high-profile individuals, instead of getting walked into the police department, booked, fingerprinted, and taking a picture like every other common folk, they skip that. And they I get it, they build in their evidence, but if that was me, I would already be booked on suspicion of murder.
It don't matter if you was in Europe. This is your car.
This your car.
And this was found in it. I don't
and you have pictures with this minor.
And then there's already been, other people leaving details saying, alleged stories saying that, oh, the car was sitting there playing music and in front of somewhere, and that's why it got towed. And then when it got towed, it started stinking, or it got towed from here and was stinking, and the tow yard got it because
somebody complained about it.
Right. It's been different alleged stories on what's going on, how this body was even found in this car. So it's like there's.
And then you don't even have, and let me just make a disclaimer here. I'm not saying that David is proven innocent. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, I'm just trying to deal with the facts here. And that is the body found and they have some type of relation together. Not relationship, acquaintanceship. To continue on down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theory, if it was us, if it was me on Instagram or a common Joe or a common Ann on Instagram with a minor doing all of this and then she comes up missing, that person is going to go to jail. That person is going to get booked, and then it's just too many things that's pointing to this person. And yeah, you're innocent until proven guilty, but at this point, we're going to book you.
Investigators estimate the body may have been in the trunk about 5 days before the car was impounded. So, the body's in there 5 days prior to this.
I don't want to do the police job, but
these are
no. Because the question I was finna say was, well, when did that nigga leave from the time of her death? From the time they found it, 5 days prior to that date, from that date right there, when did that nigga leave out of town? Because if it's your car, something just don't smell fishy. And sometimes it's these type of questions that need to be asked because to free a nigga or to catch a nigga trying to be slick that killed the minor. We got so caught up into this realm of, do we call the police? Do you have a moral obligation?
So, because one reason why, too, he has not been charged, because they do not know the cause of death. They do not know if it was an accident, natural cause, homicide.
Facts. They probably know, they just ain't released it.
The LA County medical examiners has not determined.
Man, come on,
cause
goddamn well you can't be. Well, what record is saying, but we also know that you may hold information.
Like you said, though, that's for them to comment. That's for them to comment.
Don't you dare say I'm sitting up here trying to make a point A to point B on David. Don't you? If you do, put it in the comment. I get it though, but.
So they said without that, it's hard to move forward with naming suspects or laying charges.
Okay, but my point.
To establish which crime, if any, occurred.
Okay, if that was you, where do you think you would have been at when they found that girl?
Again, like I said, so if we're gonna separate between a regular man, we need to find a case that's similar to this. Then, and I can try to find that while we're sitting here.
I'm not trying.
At the end of the day, we do know. Yes,
we do know.
We do. In my heart, I feel. We're not gonna say we do know. In my heart, I feel if this was me.
There has been an onslaught of of people from
Check it
the
out.
lower class
Look, let me put it like
that's
this.
been reported to go to jail
I have a
then
situation
goes
where
with
my
money.
case may not be the same, but I feel like I should not have been involved in the situation. There's a time where I was booked and charged with a burglary. I did not commit the burglary. Cold Park, I was in Mississippi.
But see, I get that. But if the lady, we just gonna cut to the facts. It was a robbery. You were somewhere else. Now, if that lady came out and said, this hat belongs to Odie, I know that for a fact because here go a picture of Odie with this same hat on. Do you think the police are gonna come and get you? Yes.
But look,
Hold on, no.
You didn't let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you what I came and got me for.
But we're not talking about your case. We're talking about the specifics.
Look, and this is the specifics. You know why they came and got me? You wonder why they charged me with this burglary?
Why?
Because I was in the car with you. And you the one that committed the burglary. But because I was in the car with you before this burglary happened, I was the suspect.
But look though.
So now this him. You making him the suspect without all the full facts and details.
But hold on. That is another thing that's wrong with the judicial system. One is most people are found guilty on preponderance of evidence. That means preponderance of evidence means more than likely you did the crime. That is not evidence. That means whatever I concluded, if I think that this concludes towards a guilty verdict, that's not evidence. Second of all, if you are in the car with somebody that killed somebody and you didn't stop the murder from happening, what's gonna happen? They gonna come and look for you.
They started jumping, but that's person present. And now when that law dropped, though, I get you because they already get booked. Hell, the motherfucker.
But even if you wasn't in the car, even if you wasn't in the car and they put your name,
whatever, you wouldn't want him later on, and you getting booked with it.
But even if your name wasn't, even if you wasn't there, but they just kept saying the person was there, then the police are gonna come and question you. Let's put it like that. They're gonna at least come and question you. The police have yet to say that they went to question this man. Yes. What?
Now, LAPD has said David is not an official suspect in this case. There's no public statement naming him as such.
So you don't want to know how this unalived person, this unalived minor, ended up in this man's car. You have no questions for him. This is the type of shit that just make you wonder. And it makes me turn to conspiracy theorism.
All right, so right now, number one reason they saying they got to figure out the cause of the death before they can even charge him with something. Because without having the cause of the death, we cannot charge you with homicide. So saying if she died of natural causes and you hide the body, or if she died from an overdose and you hid the body, now they might be able to charge you. Now, that, I don't know what they're able to charge you.
Okay, let me ask you this. I shoot you up. You have a cardiac arrest. You die. Do I go to jail for your cardiac arrest?
Yeah.
I go to jail for your cardiac arrest, right?
Right, yeah.
Boom, because I shot you up.
Right.
Okay, this person died. We don't know if somebody put him in the car. Obviously, there's no type of beat down on the girl. There's no type of bruises. So we don't know if she suffocated or we don't know if she was drugged. We don't know yet, right? But we still need to talk to this person because how did she even get to the car? What is your correlation to this minor? Now that we have pictures, you still don't have nothing to ask this man?
So, they have insufficient evidence. Even though they have several potential links, such as Tesla being registered to him. They have matching tattoos.
This ain't enough evidence.
Items seized from the home, social media from photos, chats that are surfacing. None of that is
and this is what's wrong.
A reasonable doubt. None of that
but this gives clarification that you've been having interaction with a missing minor. First of all, if it doesn't have nothing to do with the deaths, why do you know where this missing minor is at, but not her mother? Let's skip the death. And this is what's wrong with the judicial system and the media. Fuck the death. Why do you know where this missing minor is at?
So,
and have a tattoo of this missing minor.
Experts say you need basically concrete, forensic, medical, or witness evidence to tie someone to the death in a legal
We're not talking about the death.
way.
We're not talking about the death. We're not saying that he killed her. We're not saying that he did this. We're saying that the girl was found in his car, and yet the police is yet to question this man. That's what we're saying. On top of that, this girl is a missing runaway minor that could possibly be sexually trafficked or just trafficked. And you still don't have no questions for this man? Why the fuck not? Why they don't have no questions for him? That's what I would have done. This girl 14. 15. Been missing on and off since she was 13. And her mother knows she has a boyfriend named David. Her friends know she has a boyfriend named David. Has a tattoo of a boyfriend named David. He has a tattoo of her name on his finger that she has in place of his name on her finger. But you have no questions for a grown man that possibly was witnessed. We witnessed that he's been around her since she's been missing. And you don't have no questions for him on that level? That's what's wrong with the motherfucking judicial system. Who, and like I said, I'm going down the conspiracy theory here. I'm not saying this is actual. But it's just like, how do you continue to be on tour and not be questioned about something that's... This girl is a missing minor. Fuck the death, not fuck the death, but let's start at the beginning. She's a missing minor. Everybody's talking about the death. I want to talk about that this is a missing minor. That this world-renowned international tour having person knew exactly where she was at, been around her, and didn't know that she was missing. Okay, you didn't know she was missing, but she's a minor. She doesn't look 18. She doesn't. Not one bit. What you got to say?
I'm just right now, so I'm looking at like, was he questioned? They don't have no official reports if he was questioned. He did, say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and cooperate with you guys on whatever you need. So if he did, was questioned, it has not been released. If any official evidence of what the cause of death is has not been released to the public, but it probably has been released to the mother and the father of the child because the body has been released back to the child.
Now let me ask you this. The body's been released, and if the mother and the father knows about it, right? Do you think it is imperative to let the public know that the police have questioned him? Because now this leads into, hold on, let me finish. Because now this leads to, if they did question him, and they did talk to the parents, right? And then the parents don't say nothing. And I'm not saying they do. But this is another thing that's wrong with the judicial system. If the parents don't say nothing and they have every right, and then they allow people that have a podcast to go on and say, I'm connecting dot A to pot B and give an assumption or an assessment that could point towards his guiltiness. Now, when the jury gets in there, they've been seeing all over the media that everybody says he's guilty of murder. You see how that works? So my thing is, do you think the parents should be able, or it's imperative to tell the public that they have, or the police, just to quiet? They say, hold on, I'm about to land.
Okay.
The police always, when something happens, with the black community, they always hurry up and throw the police out there. We're in workings with the mothers, and we don't want the community to rouse up or nothing like this or nothing like that, right? Why they don't do this for this type of situation? She was a minor.
So look, I think, all right. So one, I'm looking at it as in, if I was the parent and I do know what's going on, I would want to reach out to the public and let the public know, even if I don't want the full business out there, because
they working with us.
If I know they doing their job to really figure out what's going on, because they really don't know what's going on, and they can't just bring them in like that, then all right. But don't get me wrong, I already know I'm in the back. I'm upset, man. What the fuck you mean you can't bring them in?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't want everything to be publicized. So I would, though, come out and say, hey, we are under investigation. Everything is under investigation. We are handling things. We're figuring it out. Let's stay calm, guys. Let's pray. Thank you for your support. For those who are supporting us, thank you for those who are trying to help us figure out what really happened in this matter. So it's like when they figure everything out, then they can say, hey, this is what happened, this is what's going on. Because before I can reach out and discredit this man's name, now he could sue me after everything come out that, oh no, this is the body, he let this person use the car and this and that, and he didn't know what was going on and this and that, and now he's backlashing, suing me because right now he just shut down his Europe shows. He just shut down this. And with this being low-key a high-profile case with a person, when I mean high-profile, with somebody with money who could go pay for a lawyer that when you ain't got all your evidence together and they've been dealing with stuff like this for years, waiting for a case to, oh yeah, well in this case, in this and that, then yeah. Now from the police standpoint, you could come out in public and let us know to the community. So
we have talked to him.
Like, hey, he's cooperating with us. We have talked with the young man, whatever. We are investigating, when things come together, yada, yada. How y'all do any other press conference? Why not have one for this?
Facts.
This is a high-profile case. This is a 15-year-old little girl that's been missing not even missing. She's been missing for a year. Her mother does not know where she's been for a year. Her mother, her father, her guardian, whoever, does not know where she's been for a year. This young man has matching tattoos with a minor. And if he's a minor himself, I don't know none of this. I'm just speaking on from what I'm seeing in these reports. I don't know this man music from nothing.
And that?
So I don't know if this young man is a minor. Why haven't his parents?
Well, he's not a minor. He's not a minor. He's not a minor.
There it is.
He's no older than 23.
We can figure it out now.
He's no older than 23 and no younger than 19. And if I'm not correct, he's about 21. But I also feel...
He's 20 years old.
20 years old. She's been missing for a year. She's 15 now, so she was missing when she was 14. 19 to be messing with a 14-year-old. She didn't just start at 14 years old, start going missing. Some way, somehow, he's been... Anyway, I'm not alleging nothing. And if you believe that, just go ahead and put it in the comments.
Either way it goes, she connected with some...
But let me finish with the judicial system. This is also what's wrong. The police feel like they don't gotta let the public know about this and that. People have the internet now, so presentation and presumption is rampant. People could get on here and accuse people and make it look real fancy. and make you believe that they're guilty when they're really not, or we really just don't know the facts. Maybe it's like Odie said, his friend could have borrowed the car. Maybe told his girl, like, hey, let's go hang out, try to get the little issue from her. She said no. Maybe somebody else killed her. I'm not saying he did it. I'm not saying somebody else did it. But I'm saying presentation and presumption is everything, because how many people has came out and said maybe his friend used the car, and you know what I'm saying, they ain't even go that route.
Because from what they saying, the only thing that they possibly could be seeing the cause of death is because she was wrapped in a plastic material.
Damn.
That it could be suffocation, basically. That could be the cause of death. But it's like, okay, now
how
when
did
I
she
look
get
at
wrapped
it,
up?
this is another thing. No, that's not my first thought of why she wrapped up. I'm thinking as a young motherfucker who, if she's already 15 and he's already gone on tour and his car is out, he got other younger people around. He's only 20. So he didn't left his car to probably some 17-year-old. I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm saying, how many other people even brought that up?
So look, now he riding around. They doing drugs or whatever. Maybe the drug had enough to where it put her to sleep that she wasn't dead.
She suffocated.
The pulse was low, and the person thought she dead. What do I do? She's already a runaway. This is his girlfriend. What do? I don't want to call him and he be tripping or whatever. And now, well, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put it here and I'm just park the car. I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna wipe the car down. I'm gonna get on.
Oh, that's not, I mean, and I get that too. That's another, and let me give you a round of applause on that, because that's a good thing, and that's what I like to have other people on here to speak their comments and speak how they feel about the situation, because that could be true too. A gang of young people doing drugs, and maybe she just died. But again, my question is, why haven't we known that he's already been questioned? Because this can lead to, like I say.
But the only thing I feel like they feel like was cool enough to let us know he's cooperating. Just because you're letting us know he's cooperating doesn't mean that it's like, okay, maybe it's common sense. If he said he's cooperating, he's talking to us. Okay.
I mean, it's just a lot of questions that the public needs answers to.
But it's like certain things again. If that, you gotta take it back to again. You're a father. Do you want everything publicized about something happening?
I don't want to destroy another person's life, though, neither too, by presumption and presentation.
Right, so it's like, at the end of the day, once this case is really resolved and handled, then everybody can speak. Because right now...
it's an ongoing case.
Right, and it is so weird and tricky.
But this is just my assessment. This is not like I'm saying he's guilty or not guilty. What I really want to bring light on is the fact that she's a minor, and really this man was able to still be on tour after the...
As me, how I feel, even if you can't pin the murder on him, even if you can't, this is my opinion. This ain't from no source. This ain't from nowhere else. From my opinion, if you can't pin no murder on him, you can't pin nothing else, I guarantee you can pin statutory rape. Why you ain't got his ass for that yet? I don't give a fuck. It's a minor at the end of the day.
It's a minor. It's a minor. This man was.
I have a
this
child
man was still able
I'm having a boy, but
to
at the
go
end of the
on
day,
tour.
That's like some grown ass woman got my son out here ripping and running with her. They playing Bonnie and Clyde. Got him buck wild for some little poo nanny. They got matching tattoos and all this and that. He done did all this and that, and now he ended up dead in the situation. They better at least be able to pin. You better get him.
But not even. But you know, not even. You know, I mean, not even murder, right? But like you saying, not even murder. But the thing about it is, everybody is skipping over the fact. Before we get to the murder, we trying to start at the beginning. That's what we are talking about. Even if he didn't do the murder,
What's up with him being
What
a
is
minor
he?
Magic?
Why is he still able to go on tour or continue to be on tour when we know?
See, but he canceled all of them, so he's not.
But my thing is, why he wasn't arrested?
He didn't even drop his album.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. Once we seen the pictures, fuck us. We know once certain shit get to us, it's like the police had already noticed,
Yeah,
right?
why you ain't tell him?
So off of the book we got, why you haven't went and locked his ass up?
Like, you're a full suspect.
You're a full suspect in sexual assault on a minor and of harboring, some minor shit.
Yeah,
I don't know the rules right now because I want to keep it fancy and clean, and I want to get mad, and sometimes I get mad that shit be coming to me. But, to be real, before we even get to the murder situation, this was a minor. She was 15 years old. Some people might say, oh man, you know how minors be. A 17-year-old is a minor, and people give that a situation. But how dare you try to give situation to a 15-year-old being able to do what she wants? Even a 15-year-old boy. So on the grounds of her being a runaway, a grown man having continuous acquaintance with her, you're an adult, she's a minor.
Look, so right now, they could even bring him in on, like, if they have evidence supporting it later, they could bring him in on abuse and neglect of a course, failure to report a death, obstruction of justice, homicide-related charges, only if evidence point, though, there.
Yeah, but that's still getting to the murder.
So, but no, that's not even getting to a murder. Abuse and neglect of a corpse, that's already, I could just bring you in, this is your car.
But let's keep it fair like a California bear. I am out of town.
Okay, so who had the car?
That's what I'm saying. He needs to be questioned.
Who had the car?
Let's start at the real question. What were you doing with this minor?
Who had the car and why? Yeah, well, that is the real question, right? But we not to the point. Let's say we ain't raided this house yet. Because he gave us, we got the evidence, we raided this house, okay, we got this evidence or whatever, boom. Let's say he gave us, he cooperated with us before we got the evidence. Which is all the way, yes, why is this minor? But again, damn, what the fuck?
It was,
abuse and neglect on the corpse.
On the corpse.
So again, this body is in your vehicle. And you tell me you don't know about it. Who was driving the vehicle?
Who was driving?
Okay.
Who do you allow to drive the vehicle?
Now it's back to what we were saying earlier on the fact of the police. Now that y'all know who's driving the vehicle, because obviously he has to tell y'all, why don't we know it? Unless these parents are trying to just keep
no other
this
race
shit,
no other arrest been made.
Unless these parents are trying to keep this shit so clean, unless there's money involved so much, that these parents are saying, no, look. We want to keep this, we want to keep it quiet. Because if everything do point out to him, we want everything from him. And we want his royalties, masters, all that shit. Let that music keep playing. Let him go ahead and go to jail or whatever.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of I think that would be terribly wrong as a parent.
That's probably, yes, it's wrong.
I think that would be terribly wrong.
Yes, it's
and
wrong,
I hope
but we don't know how other
like
people
that.
is thinking. Everybody, this world is fucked up.
It is, and see that, I'm glad you said that because that's another thing that I'm pointing at. If we start at the beginning of what leads up to the murder of this 15-year-old minor, right? First thing that we do know is that she was involved with an adult. To some degree, the police got to work that out.
And even if you was calling it as a big brother situation, little
hold
sister,
on, we not even gonna go conclude alleged allegations out there, right? You have pictures with this girl that says otherwise. This girl is a runaway minor.
you knew where she was.
You knew where she was at, and you knew she was a minor.
So you could charge him already right there to me with harboring a minor.
That right there, harboring a runaway, harboring a minor, minor neglect of endangering a child. CPS got a list of other things that they can hit him with, but this is not done. So what is wrong with the judicial system to where, since you're focused on the murder, that's the only thing we're going to focus on? If you don't bring it up about the pedophilia or him being with a minor or any questions about any minor activity, we're not going to bring it up. We're just going to wait for the murder. Since y'all talking about murder, no, we need to be talking about why was this man with the minor, a runaway minor, at that. He maybe not even did the murder. He probably didn't even know it happened. Like I said, like Odie said, I said his friend could have been using the car, probably try to get some trim from her. It didn't go down, and she became unalive. Odie said that maybe, hold on, maybe they were out partying because they're young. They did drugs. She died. He didn't know what to do. He didn't feel no pulse. Wrapped her up like fuck it, but she was still alive. Ended up suffocating. But again, what was that runaway minor doing in your vicinity? Go ahead.
All right, so they saying he could be charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So
she's a runaway. She's in your care. He ain't been
even without sex or anything like that.
Just contributing.
You're contributing
to the runaway.
The delinquency.
Because that's
of a minor.
Not in jail. Why not? That's what we're asking. Why not? And these are the things that need to be explained to the constituents. Because I done even heard stories of black boys getting rolled up into gym carpets with all their insides missing out with newspaper stuffed in them and said that it was a suicide. But just on the contributing to the delinquency of a minor that's a runaway, that's enough to bring him in for questioning. But yet he remains on the loose. And people may say, oh, Pharaoh, why are you saying this about that? Because we have the proof of a pedophile being a pedophile. Or we have the proof of somebody, what is called?
What?
Delinquency, what is it called? Contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So if you not doing nothing to her, she is in your care around a gang of other people that is well known to take advantage of children. Her mom is not giving the okay. The power of attorney of her life is not giving it okay. So if they're not giving it okay, it makes it illegal. That's what makes it contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Because of how basically the law system is, even if I was a prosecutor that's like, I don't give a fuck about none of this shit, I want to book them and bring them in right now. So even if you got a prosecutor that's going to look at this, it's like, I want to book him. I want to book him. They can't.
Why not?
Because they have no text messages, no emails.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
That shows.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They have one damaging email, text messages. That says that she texts him and tells him that she doesn't want to do this anymore and she really misses her mom and her sisters and she wants to go back home. And he says, because of our circumstances and what we're going through right now, you know that's not possible. This is a minor, and he's telling her that she cannot go home. Why can't she go home? Is it that maybe she could be pregnant? Shh! Don't y'all start that. But if you do, leave it in the comments. I'll reply to it. Why couldn't she go home? She wanted to go home. He told her no, as if he has some type of authority over. Boyfriend, father, big brother. You're no relation to this girl. None at all. So why are you telling her you can't go back home? What? Her mother and her sisters should be happy to see her, right? No. She wasn't. Don't y'all get to talking about that Baphomet and what they be doing to people. But if you believe that, go ahead and put it in the comments because I'm going to reply to it. Can't say too much. You can connect the dots, but you can't connect the dots. You got to leave one out or two out.
So there's no, like they saying the police has.
Did you pull up the text messages?
So look, they said yes, there are reports suggesting that expressed desires to return home, reunite with her mother. To which David allegedly reported, no, we can't do that because of our situation. These statements verified could be significant in the ongoing investigation. However, as for now, there has been no official confirmation for law enforcement regarding the authenticity of these messages or their context. Authorities have not publicly disclosed whether these communications were obtained through digital devices or other means. The investigation remains open, with the Los Angeles Police.
All that means is somebody stole their phones and started doing AI shit. If you believe that, I got a beachfront house in Montana, Arkansas. Shout out to my boy, man, that be doing that. I got that from him. I can't think of his name right now. Basically, it's good to have this banter of conversation that people believe that it's banter, non-useful. But there is a problem in the judicial system to where if the judicial system serves everybody, there is a class of people that gets treated a different way than another class of people.
So basically, any other report of what we're seeing is text message and all that.
Could be AI.
Unofficial. We can't, report that because if it's not been released by LAPD, then
it's not official.
We don't know if it's real. So that's not a credible source.
Well, let me ask you this.
From what they're saying.
With all that you just read and you just seen, right? What part of that do you think allows them, or do they have any case to even go arrest him and book him for contributing to the delinquency of a minor?
If they saying they don't if they saying they don't have text messages and they can't prove it,
what about the tattoos and the pictures?
But from the law, like we said, the law, they're saying that's not enough proof. From a black man like me,
hold on, no. I'm asking you, from the pictures that we seen her at the runaway era of her life, being with this guy, that's an adult. At this point, they know she's a runaway. So why hasn't he been arrested? So why hasn't he been arrested yet? This is what's wrong with the judicial system. Straight up. No lie. That's how I feel.
Or what are you going to say? The little girl was stalking him? He ain't never been around her? What?
He can't. There's pictures. And tattoos. Just the consistent pictures